Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to break down a really cool case study. It's all about how one company saw some absolutely explosive online growth, and they did it by thinking about SEO, search engine optimization, in a totally different way, not as some techie chore, but as a real core part of their business strategy. All right, let's jump right in. Just imagine for a second, what if you could boost your website traffic by more than 800%? And I'm not talking about over 10 years. I'm talking about in just a few short months. Crazy, right? Okay, now what if you could take all that new traffic, all those new visitors, and multiply the money you make from them by 5 times? We're talking a 5x increase in revenue, straight from organic search. And to top it all off, imagine your website getting way better at turning those casual lookers into actual paying customers. We're talking about more than tripling your conversion rate. It jumped from just 1.3% to almost 5%. So look, these aren't just some made-up pie-in-the-sky numbers. Nope, these are the real, documented results from one single, super-focused digital strategy. The big question is, how on earth did they pull it off? Well, this incredible growth story is all about a company called Kafarat Plus, and they teamed up with a digital growth agency called trtDigital, who were really the architects behind this whole transformation. So the client here, Kafarat Plus, they're an online platform based in Saudi Arabia, and they were super ambitious. They provided some specialized digital services, and their goal was simple but huge. They wanted to be the #1 go-to name in the entire Saudi market. And this slide, wow. It really paints a picture of the before and after, doesn't it? Before they started, Kafarat Plus had a website that, worked. But it was basically a ghost online. It got very little organic traffic, which means they were missing out on this huge group of customers who were actively looking for what they offered. And after, it became an absolute powerhouse for bringing in new customers. So what did trtDigital do? They rolled out this massive, multifaceted SEO strategy built from the ground up just for the Saudi market. And listen, this was no quick fix. We're talking a complete technical audit of the site, super deep keyword research in both Arabic and English, a total rewrite of their on-page content, and a big focus on making the user experience way better. But here's the thing. Results like this, they don't just happen because you ticked a few boxes on a checklist. No way. They come from a completely different way of thinking, a different philosophy about what SEO really is and what it can do for a business. And this right here, this is the core idea. For the folks at trtDigital, SEO isn't just some line item on the marketing budget or a few technical tweaks here and there. It's treated like a major business lever. Something you pull to make the whole business grow. Every single thing they do is backed by data and is tied directly to real business goals, like getting more leads and making more sales. This quote from the CEO, Naeem Benjaloun, really nails it. He basically built his whole agency on this one powerful idea. SEO has to be woven into the financial goals of a company. Everything has to be guided by data, by trying new things, and by truly, deeply understanding the market you're in. Okay, so this philosophy, it's not just some abstract concept, right? It's a real practical system, a clear, structured, and repeatable formula. So let's pull back the curtain and see how this growth engine actually works. The whole thing breaks down into 3 clear phases. First, you've got the audit and strategic analysis. This is where they do a super deep dive into the business, the competition, all of it. Second comes optimization and content creation. This is the execution phase, where all the hard work gets done. And finally, you have reporting, tracking, and ROI. This is where they close the loop and show you the money, literally. And here's what's so important to get. This is not a set it and forget it kind of deal. It's a living, breathing cycle. They are constantly tracking performance, constantly adjusting the strategy based on what the data is telling them and what search engines are doing. That's how you get growth that actually lasts. So you might be wondering, what's the secret sauce here? What makes this data-heavy, business-focused approach so powerful? And maybe more importantly, how can it work for totally different companies in completely different industries? Well, first and foremost, it all comes down to a laser focus on ROI, return on investment. I mean, the numbers really do speak for themselves here. It's all about taking a pretty modest monthly investment and turning it into a huge, measurable river of cash for the business. But it's more than just that. It's this powerful mix of things. You get total transparency, no mystery, just clear reports. You get their deep experience working in all sorts of markets, from the Middle East to Europe. They're using cutting-edge tech and AI to get results faster. And maybe most importantly, they're not just a service you hire. They become a true strategic partner. So this whole case study really leaves us with one big, final question to think about. We live in a world where your next 100 or 1,000 customers are online right now searching for exactly what you offer. The question is, when they search, are they finding you